Orthopox to Cryptosporidium 137. Come in, Cryptosporidium.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here, and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
Surely you don't mean those foul-smelling gas bags beyond the fence?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
But they're covered in nipples.
Now, Cryptosporidium!
It's a pretty good introduction.
It is, yeah. This is basically they're arriving on Earth and they have no idea about what happens on Earth, what's the dominant life form, so they go and approach to talk to the cows. Here you can already see some of the new additions. He's much more agile, he can dodge, he can use the jetpack to slide across the ground and stuff like this, so we wanted to give him a lot more agility than in the original game. This is one of the basically skills that you had in the original as well. You can read minds, also the minds of cows. So now they're reading the minds of the cows to find out like whether they are basically the lords of this planet. All the game is basically completely motion captured. Not the cows and not the alien, but all the humans are motion captured, and the cutscenes are much more elaborate.
They eat with their mouths? Ugh, I think I'm going to be violently ill. Attention, Earth creatures. This planet is now part of the Furon Empire. Your benevolent masters welcome you. At this time, we wish to abduct you for the purpose of scientific research. The procedure will be protracted and invasive. Do you have any objections? Earth creature, I am addressing you. Respond or be vaporized. I don't care how many stomachs you have. I don't have time for this.
And now you can see one of the biggest things about the game basically is the telekinesis ability. So this in the original basically locked you into telekinesis and you couldn't do anything else. So what we wanted to do is make it much more combat focused. So as you can see, you can simply grab them and hold them up next to yourself.
I feel
and then
so
you
bad.
Can
They're flailing so much.
But yeah, basically it allows you to still be very mobile, and later on you'll see that when you now get a weapon, you can do all this simultaneously now. In the original, these were separate things. You either do your telekinesis, or you pop the brain of the human out of his head, or you shoot him. And now it's just like a seamless experience of doing everything at the same time.
I don't think I ever wanted to throw a cow before, but I really have this strong desire now to throw cows. What other abilities, or maybe just a sense of progression, is that sort of something that happens in the game where you get more abilities?
Exactly. So basically, this is the brain extract ability, which you can both do on deceased persons, but also on living humans. And then you've got stuff like mind reading, and you can pose as a human so that they don't see you and you don't raise the alert level and the police doesn't come and stuff like this.
Yeah.
The other form of progression is simply within the telekinesis, that at the beginning you're able to lift like smaller objects. You can throw a tire in somebody's face or a hatchet or something, and then later you just grab an entire tank and slam it in their face, which is also something you want to do. And the nice thing now is that you can also do it like, you can jump up in the air, use the jetpack, throw something down on like this, or you just grab the person himself, drown him in the lake. So it's, but all in a funny kind of way. It's all good, all fun and games.
You gotta have a sense of
this
humor.
You can see, like, normally at this stage in the game you wouldn't be able to lift this massive thing.
Yeah.
But as this is our E3 demo, we just wanted to show off, how this will be at the end of the day. Now he's using the brain extract to just decap.
Evening, Ms. Turnip Seed. We got a call from Farmer Dixon over the other side of the state road. Said he heard some pretty strange noises coming from over this way. What is that? A new silo?
Crypto! That human law enforcement officer is attempting an unauthorized entry of your spacecraft. If those pea-brains were to get their hands on your quantum deconstructor, they could rip a hole in the space-time continuum!
So making him a lot more agile with the boosting, with the you have got more air time when you fly with your jetpack. That gives you a lot more time to just, you know, aim and shoot and grab something, throw it, all this kind of stuff. And the dodging, and you have a focus mode where you can basically strafe, which nowadays is just standard in most third-person shooters. So I think stuff like this, people don't even remember that it wasn't in the game. So those are the things that we try to address to make sure that it feels modern, but at the same time you have the feeling you're just playing the game that you've loved so dearly.
Great.
Now, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but you did mention that you guys added a lost mission.
From way back in the day, so all right, well done.
Yeah, I mean, next year there's the 15-year anniversary of the original.
Oh,
so
okay, so you planned this.
It better
this
be
is
looking a bit better.
Yeah. Okay, well done.
But yeah, it's the team is known for their very high visual quality as well, and they've done a great job of translating that very unique art style as well. It has this kind of mix of a little bit cartoony, but also quite realistic.
Yeah, a little bit of realism in there.
Yeah, so it needs to be a little realistic as well, so that you really feel like you're destroying Earth, not just something.
Understandable. So what are some of the things that you've updated? Obviously, you've done the graphics. So what else have you guys been working on?
Well, basically, I don't know if you guys can already hear
that one's a
the
little bit delayed from that
cutscenes. All right, sorry. Yeah, so basically one of the first things is, for example, the cutscenes, which basically the original had about like 3 CGI cutscenes and then rather basic in-game cutscenes.
Well, yeah,
so we've
what you had at the
basically
time.
put a lot of effort into making the cutscenes much more elaborate. It's all motion captured. It's,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the whole game, everything's motion captured.
That's impressive, actually.
Can we actually hear the dialogues? I actually don't know.
It's being pushed to stream, not to us.
All right.
So they can hear it.
Okay, cool.
Funny.
They'll
Yeah.
push it here in a
Let's
sec
just
for you.
say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure
So how
this
many people are
invasion
currently
runs
working on
smoothly,
this game
it is
right now?
imperative
On the game,
we
there's more than
identify
60
the
people
dominant
at the
Holy cow.
development studio.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
one
you
of
have
our
to
biggest
with
developers studios.
Motion cap.
Yeah, so yeah, huge team. Everybody big fans of the game, of course, and something like the motion capturing these cutscenes that's done externally. So if in total, there's obviously much more people working on this.
Yes,
but
yes.
there's even just more than 60 people just working at the developer.
Wow, okay.
And so as you can see from the characters, like in their facial movements and all this kind of stuff has been much more improved, but we kept the original dialogue, the banter between these two aliens, Crypto 137, who's like the iconic main character behind everything. He's on
every pin and
yeah, his face is just
Poster.
plastered across E3.
Very famous.
And then Pox is basically his sidekick general, who's like the calm one who tries to keep him from just blowing everything up all the time. And then he just does it anyway.
That's fair. That's my style. So we have a couple questions. Will there be co-op or multiplayer?
No, in the first one there was no co-op back then, and we're keeping the game pretty much similar to what it
To
was.
the original?
So we're really trying to faithfully recreate the experience that people had in this first game.
Will there be any new levels? I know you say you're keeping it core to the original, but are you gonna add a little of your own flair?
Yeah, we're doing both. Like we're keeping
Okay.
it very faithful, but we're also bringing back a mission that basically was planned to be in the game, and we have the rough outlines of what they planned to do back then.
Yeah.
And so we've recreated that mission, and we're basically there is one mission that you've never played before.
Well, that's really
which
neat.
is quite great, and it's basically exactly according to how it was planned to be in there,
Yeah.
and was just it didn't manage to put it in.
I like that you guys are definitely staying true to the original, but kind of, updating it for today's audience, which is really nice. So you'll have that nostalgia, but you'll be like, oh, but it's so much prettier now.
Exactly. It's basically, there's just so many things about the game that perfectly hold up, like the story. He's really completely an unapologetic evil alien. It's none
Fair,
of that,
yes.
none anti-hero with a heart of gold kind of shit.
No.
He's just an evil alien who likes to burn down
Huge fan.
humanity.
Yeah.
And that just still is a very unique kind of thing. It's just a great experience to have this wacky 50s invasion story in an actual 1950s America setting, so not a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
It's just a unique kind of style and all this kind of stuff, and that just holds up. So what we've actually concentrated on is just improving the kind of fluent transition between the different elements of gameplay that you have, between the different types of combat you have, like
Yes.
your weapons, your psychic abilities, so that you can use those all at the same time. Like currently, you can see the telekinesis,
Huge fan.
which is one of the biggest things in the game, where you can just throw stuff around. The team is basically bit by bit adding more and more and more things that you can throw at people, and we just try to think of things. Okay, what do I want to throw in somebody's face? An old toilet, a cow, a chicken,
Yes.
a tire, whatever. And you can now do this simultaneously while you fly, while you shoot.
Oh, wow.
All
Okay.
together.
So speaking of cow, can you appreciate the cow?
Sorry?
Can you appreciate the cow?
Appreciate.
That's what chat is asking. I'm not sure if that's a reference to something.
I'm not quite sure what the question means, and you have to excuse me. I'm from Austria, so English is not my first language. You want whether you can appreciate the cow?
Can you pray to the cow gods?
Can we all appreciate the cow? Oh, I think he's just asking whether we're all happy that the cows are nice.
The dislocator. Oh, I guess that was in the second one. Okay, so somebody asked, are all the levels open world?
Yes, they are basically, the game is divided into 6 different cities.
Okay.
And once you've unlocked one city, that city in itself is open world. Compared to modern games, where you have one huge city, obviously they're a bit smaller.
Yes.
But each city is very distinct. Like this one is basically a turnip seed farm, which is a very rural, very farmland-like level, and then you've got the old Washington D.C. Basically, you've got a Santa Monica-like
nice.
level on the beach. So every city is very distinct.
Yes.
And you've got story missions there, but also you can just go there and just burn shit down.
Huge fan. So what platforms will this be released on?
Pardon?
Which platforms will this be released on?
It will be out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
So anything about Switch? I know we're getting a lot of questions about as well.
Yeah, right now we can't really confirm Switch, since it's a pretty big game and
Fair.
a very visually heavy game, and we have to see if we can make it work on the Switch as well.
But, I'm happy it's on PC, so I can't complain there.
Yeah, it's the first time actually that it is playable on PC properly.
Yes, I remember it was console only. So when will the game be released?
It will come out in 2020.
2020? Can you
And
say
we'll-
spring, fall? I don't want to get you in trouble, so if you can't say that.
Well,
Don't
let's
feel
say it
pressured.
will most likely still be warm when it comes out.
Okay,
but,
that's fair.
I mean, in LA it's always warm. But yeah.
Well, it's warmer.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, we'll see. We'll announce soon, a little bit more details about when it will come out.
Somebody had asked, are the levels bigger than the Destroy All Humans one, for the first one? Are the levels bigger?
The levels are pretty similar to what it was in the original, because we're keeping the mission structures roughly the same. We're keeping the whole game roughly about the same size that it was. But as you'll already see on this level,
Move out, man! Move! 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 I don't know, but I've been told
I don't know, but I've been told
Joe McCarthy's good as gold.
Joe McCarthy's good as gold.
Oh, great! The human military-industrial complex. We can't allow them to alert their leaders to our presence. Exterminate them! Now!
Open fire!
PC platforms.
we're bringing it out on just about every platform. Steam,
Okay.
Epic Games, everywhere. We're currently not participating in the fight.
Fair.
So we're just bringing it out on
Switzerland, dude.
whoever,
Staying neutral.
yeah, Amazon,
Where everybody
whatever
wants
is
to
your
be.
favorite platform.
Will there be any gameplay improvements from the first one? Gameplay improvements from the first one?
From the first one.
Are you doing anything? I'm
well,
taking questions from chat.
Yeah,
So,
well, basically the improvement, well, what has been improved in comparison to the original game
Yes.
is mainly the combat gameplay, so the psychic abilities can be used simultaneously with the weapons. You have more air time when you use the jetpack, so that it's easier to actually shoot from the air. You can throw stuff from the air, so you can pick something up, fly to the sky, throw the cow down onto the farmer who raised it, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what we're mainly looking at is, since we want to be very careful with any changes to the original,
Fair.
we're looking at the second part, looking at what they improved upon, and then identifying things that might make sense to do already in the first one. So basically the second one has a feature called Transmogrify, which allows you to create ammunition, which is just a great system. And we're looking into transporting that to the first one, simply because if they back then, at the sequel decided, look, this would be better solved like this, then why shouldn't we, bring that over to the first one? But in general, we're trying to stay within the vision that these games set back then.
What are you able to talk about pricing at all? About how much it'll be?
It's not going to be a complete full price title.
Okay.
But the final pricing is still to be decided.
Somewhere
but
mid-tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a full $70 title, but
all right, I
somewhere there.
I can do the math on that one.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys at home can as well. Let me see. Somebody had said, is there going to be any Alienware cosmetics?
Alienware cosmetics?
Yes.
Or just alien cosmetics?
Alienware cosmetics. Yes. I'm asking.
In the game?
Yes.
There's no plans yet, but we're very open for any suggestions. I mean,
reach out to us in
you
DMs.
have an alien head, we have an alien head. Everybody
make
gets an
something
alien
work.
head, so yeah, that's, who knows?
Will there be any pre-order bonuses or deluxe editions? Pre-order bonuses or deluxe editions?
We're very much looking into this. It's very likely that we'll at least have a few collector's editions, something for the fans, and we're gonna soon basically announce like what we can do there, what we're gonna offer there. Obviously, he's a very great character to do any kind of merchandise, any kind of figurine. So we're very excited to work on this.
Somebody said it's a disguise system better. The Holobob.
Yes, the Holobob. Basically, we changed it a little bit because we took out the concentration feature of the original, which was basically tied to all your psychic abilities and just drained really quickly.
Okay.
And now you only have basically a kind of timer on your Holobob, which means this is what it's called in the game when you take over a human. So I can basically disguise myself as you and then run around. And as long as I'm disguised as a puny human, then other humans don't notice me. And that feature is back, of course, because it's a vital part of the game to just run around disguised as a rural farmer and
nobody will ever
idiot
suspect.
humans not seeing you.
So we talked about pricing, mid-tier range, coming out to pretty much every platform for the most part. Is there anything else you'd like to cover that I might have missed by chance?
I think what you can see currently in the video is he's a much more agile character now. So what we've also been trying to do is just give people the experience of like this really high-tech alien who's just far beyond technology-wise what humans are capable of. So he has a jetpack. He can now use this jetpack to fly and to skate. So basically, you can slide around the ground with your jetpack. You can boost around, so you have like a dodge system. And all of this is fluently integrated. You can now see him skate, basically. And that basically goes fluently into each other. You can dodge and keep skating, then fly up, dodge again. It's all completely seamlessly integrated.
And finally, like 2 years ago, we were like, yeah, let's just make it. And
look at the gameplay.
Yeah, so that's actually gameplay footage from the remake.
Wow. So explain to me. So it is a remake of the game?
Yeah, it's a full remake of Destroy All Humans 1. And yeah, so it's not just remastered, it's really created from the ground up.
Okay.
But like the story and the basic design is the same, but like graphics is fully modern, and also like we took a modern spin on like how you control the game, on gameplay elements, obviously cutscenes. So that's all like newly directed to really fit modern standards.
Wow. Well, that's cool. That's a classic franchise that's come back. So in terms of the gameplay, I remember obviously there was the stuff we saw in the sort of UFO. There's also kind of a lot of alien action where you're running around and shooting, destroying humans.
Right, exactly. So it's basically the Mars Attack setup. So they're like an alien coming to the planet Earth. He's sent there because like his colleague was basically missing in action.
Yeah.
So he has to find him. And they have to go to the planet Earth because they need the DNA of humans to survive, right? So that's the whole setup, really. There's like his boss is basically on the mothership up in space, and he's like giving him commands. They're like the weird, funny dynamics between the two. So it's a really cool like setup and a lot of fun. Like what you would normally not expect. It has this like tongue-in-cheek humor.
Right, that's part of the fun of it, right?
Yeah,
they said
exactly.
That during Mars Attacks, if you remember the old Tim Burton movie. That's awesome. So where's this? It's a pre-alpha, so this is a little bit further out in terms of the
so like we're in pre-alpha. We're gonna look like we're gonna release in early 2020. We wanted to show it here, especially at E3, because we know there are a lot of like fans here in the US. And it's a very US-based like topic. I mean, like the whole game plays in the US. So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, so a little bit of a tease, but we'll have to wait a while to play this one.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's playable here at E3, like in South Hall, right, for everybody. But yeah, it's gonna take like early 2020. Right?
All right, early 2020. THQ Nordic, always bringing back the fan base.
Right, that's our mission.
Hey, it seems to be working.
Of alien activity and labeling them communist propaganda aimed at undermining the American way of life.
Ich will. Ich will. Ich will. Ich will. Versteht ihr mich? Fühlt ihr mich? Hört ihr mich?